Good morning. I'm going to give you all of the different intuitive things that came in yesterday as well as today. It may end up being a two-part video. I was going to do this video last night, but I ended up fighting with my husband over what was more important, the winter party on Saturday or the Daytona 500 on Sunday. So, 30 years worth of marriage, this is the stuff that goes on. But I didn't make the video last night, and now I'm trying to remember everything that I wanted to share with you from yesterday. So bear with me. I did write things down to try and remember as best as I could. I did just do the video on the steaks and the eggs. Please go back and watch that. I know it's a little bit long, but it does kind of tie into where this is coming from. But for those who didn't watch the video, the steaks are greater for those that can't afford the eggs, but the steaks don't matter for those who can. And remember, a person who is going to, balk at the idea of spending $9 for eggs is not going to be the same person who's trying to decide whether or not they want to eat duck eggs, turtle eggs, or chicken eggs today. It's not the same thing. We don't live the same world. So you've got those people that are making decisions for those of us who are deciding brown eggs or white eggs, local eggs or not. Those that are without can do without. True fear is in those who don't know how to go without. Now think about that. Those of us that know how to make the dollar stretch, those of us who know how to add water to their eggs to make them last a little longer. We are the strong ones. We are the survivors. We are the ones who are going to make it through all of these dark times. Not those who can't figure that out, because if they've never had to, they're not going to know what to do. The reason why they're desperately grabbing for power right now is because they don't know how to do it on their own. They need that power. They need that control. So who actually has the power? And that leads into my next one. Yesterday afternoon, as I was listening to somebody else, I actually have friends who are affected by this. But the people in Alabama who are receiving letters that their bills are going to be going up by $100 because they're no longer getting that additional funding to help them with their bills. The words that came through were power to the people. But think about that. So their power's not being taken away, but it's a dark time for them. And the power is in the people. And what I think this actually means is that when the bill gets higher, you might think that they're taking the power away from the people, but they're not. What they're actually doing is they are empowering them to be pissed off. There's going to be a lot of people who are very upset by this. A lot of people who may not have thought that this was going to happen to them. A lot of people who thought that the wealthy contingency was going to make them wealthy too, and that's just not how this is working, is it? So, if you don't have any power anymore, that is when you become more powerful. Because now all of a sudden you're going to wake up into this dark time and you're going to realize that I need to turn on this light again. That's most of yesterday. I think I'm forgetting some things. This morning I woke up and this kept going on over and over and over again in my head. I do know I'm missing one little section. If I can remember it later, I'll come back and add it. Promises made, power trade, downgrade, tirade, blockade, and last parade. And there is one that's missing in the middle there, and I can't remember what it is, but I'm going to say it again. Promises made, power trade, downgrade, tirade, blockade, last parade. Have fun with that one. There's a lot there. Let's just unpack that. And then the last thing that I had that came through to me while I was drying my hair was, because that's when sometimes it's like a white noise and sometimes it just makes things clearer. A legacy is only as lasting as the last truth told. So legacy is only as lasting as the last truth told. So my first thought when I saw this was talking about, what is it that they're hoping to gain by this? Because if they don't need the money and they're not looking for, what is it that they're trying to do? They're trying to create their legacy. They want to have people in history look back at them and call them gods. And yet, in hindsight, your legacy is only as lasting as the last truth told. Not the lies, not the deception, not the things that you wanted everyone to see, but the last truth told. And when I sat there and I thought about that for a second, instantly what popped up into my head was a picture of Bill Cosby. And so that's right there. There was this tremendous legacy, this built up period of time with all these different things, but it was the last truth that was told. That is the end result of that legacy. Most people don't remember all of the other things now. They only remember the last truth told. So that's my share for this morning. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you're all wearing red and feeling loved. I'm excited for the day because I have kids who are going to call me and tell me they love me, and that's always nice. So, yeah, happy Valentine's Day. And if I do remember the other things that I'm missing, I will come back and do a part 2, and I'll just call it part 2. But yeah, happy Valentine's Day.